Good morning, Nancy. Good morning, Marie. Good morning, Beth. Good morning, Shrishti and Cecilia and Eileen and Linda C. And whoever K8A01R1 is, sounds like a robot. Good morning to you. Robots welcome.
It's me, it's Karen. Hi.
Oh, hi, Karen.
It's my work code.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on my work computer. Sorry.
Good to hear your voice. Your incognito. Okay, so that's our setup. It's going to be a little bit easier, I think, I hope. That's my plan if we are sideways. You're probably going to want to have a couple of blocks as well at your disposal. And you may even want something for underneath your knees because we will do some stuff on our knees today as well. So that's the story. Our flow this morning, I really like our flow. Well, I always like our flow, but I really am feeling the vibe of this flow this morning. And I'm just gonna turn my little background music down here a little bit. I think it's inevitable that as teachers, when we're leading, if we're looking for inspiration or ideas, we look within ourselves a lot of the time, right? What's going on with me and how can I take my situation and weave it into something that can be appreciated or benefited by all. So I woke up this morning with a little kink in my neck and between my shoulder blades, I think there's a little nerve that's pinched out just a little bit. So I kind of went, oh, I can feel that. And so I thought, okay, well, let's use this as the inspiration for how we're going to move. So we're going to get lots of opening and gentle twisting and lots of movement through this kind of midsection of our body here from our cervical spine, which is our neck, down through the thoracic spine, which is the midpoint of our spine, the 12 vertebrae that our ribs are attached to, and then leading into that lower back and pelvic stability. So that's kind of my physical motivation this morning, and hopefully we'll all find some peace in that. So what I'm going to have you do is mirror me today, and we're actually going to begin in a child's pose, facing the left side. So mirror me. So we are coming down into our child's pose to begin. If you like, you can have your block or blocks underneath your forehead so that as we start our morning here, preferably, our head is resting on a solid surface. And that's going to send that signal to the CNS, right, that we are calm. So either blocks or maybe two fists stacked. And it also takes some of the strain out of the hips for those of us that find sitting back in child maybe a little tight or restrictive. Okay, so go ahead and settle yourself in here. Open up your knees and really create some room for your low back. You might also like to bring your hands up to touch your fingertips at the back of the neck in a little prayer. And that not only, again, touches the origin point of the vagus nerve, you can also just lay your hands on the back of your neck like you'd be putting a cool cloth if you had a fever. That can help too. So not only is it a nice symbol of calming the nervous system, but it also opens up the shoulders and the chest a little bit, and it can be a beautiful place to check in. How am I doing this morning? What do I need? How can I give what I need to myself today, even in some little ways? Usually that involves some kind of permission or boundary or acknowledgement of saying no to something else, right? I love that idea. When we say no to something, we are usually saying yes to our own selves. So how are you applying that to your life today in this wintering season? So from your child's pose, you can again do whatever you like with your arms. You can change positions. But let's go ahead and gently rock what feels like we're rocking our pelvis like a hammock from side to side. And so this involves this big opening of our hips. funny with my back. I know exactly what I did. I was at the gym yesterday and I went into my exercises without really doing a warm up, and I thought, because I was ironically so cold from being outside, I'm like, I'm just gonna get moving right into it. And that's what I get for being a little silly. Sometimes we have to do silly things to get us back onto the straight and narrow, right? Won't do that again. From your child's pose, this little rock, take your arms off of your mat to the right, so you're doing a moon child pose. So you're just stretching those arms long and feeling that big release through the left side of your lower back. And again, if you want to do a little rocking here, you can do that too. We're going to be taking some moon shapes with our body in our practice today. And then you can wander your hands over to the other side, and let's do that over here as well. So sitting right back and playing around with different, approaches. So if you rock, you might feel it differently. If you shift forward and back, you might feel it differently. So noticing what access you need to a deeper stretch. As you come back through to center, let's come up onto our knees and onto our hands. Notice a little bit more alignment, so knees under hips, wrists under shoulders, fingers splayed. And go ahead and move through your cat and cow, so pressing the ground with the tops of your feet and your hands as you exhale into your cat. Hold it for just a moment, feel that release. And then pull the ground, lifting your chin, lifting your heart, lifting your tailbone as you breathe into your cow. And you can go through those two poses. Please go slowly and really feel them. And remember that if you're doing this first thing in the morning, so live with us or a recording in the morning, that extension, so the cow where we lift our chin, is really what our spine prefers in the morning. So by all means, push the ground away, feel the cat. But I would encourage you to stay just a little bit longer in that cow. If your body is saying, okay, you can pick up the speed a little bit, go for it. But mine is saying, let's just keep it slow here and really feel each one of these movements. And then if there's any other morning movements that you like, rocking your pelvis, shifting your hips, doing a little barrel roll where it feels like you're moving your body on the inside of a barrel. Let's just get all that movement going here on this Monday morning. Wearing my blue pants for frost. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to tuck our right toes under. So hopefully those are the toes closest to me if I figured this out right. And take your left leg and extend it towards the wall. So it's looking like this, or towards the side. Bring your hands a little bit further forward than underneath your shoulders, and we're going to slide back and forward. Okay, so you may like something underneath your knee, back, and my other leg is straight out to the side. So just for a visual, it's looking like this. Back and forward. I'm gonna bring my bottom as close to my heel as I possibly can. Feel the stretch through the inner thigh, and then come forward. And we're going to start to add an arm to this. So if my left leg is out to the side, my left arm is going to come up and open as I come forward. And then it's going to reach forward, so like my arms are still in a child's pose as I go back. Breathing in, I rotate, I take my eyes up, I soften my jaw. And breathing out, I slide back. Let's do 3 more of these. Inhale, softening your jaw and your belly. Exhale. So we're connecting upper and lower body, some beautiful rotation through that thoracic spine, and warming up through the feet, the ankles, the joints. This is a nice cold morning, so it might take us a little bit more time to get things going. Good, now as we bring our hand down, we're gonna do a little pivot. So walk your hands towards me. Pivot that right foot back behind you and bring your left leg out to the side. Now you may want to have blocks, but you'll figure this out as we go here. We're going to push ourselves up to a kneeling position, and we might either have our left toes forward or slightly open, whatever gives you more space in your pelvis and your hips. Drop your tailbone down, lift your pubic bones up so you get a little morning recruitment of your glutes, and let's go ahead and bring your arms up. So we're staying soft, we're finding the sukha. Go ahead and let your left hand find your thigh. We're coming into a closed gate pose here. Now it's first thing in the morning, right? Especially if you're practicing live, so you don't need to force anything. We're gonna build a gentle little morning combination flow. Breathe your arms up and above your head. And then as you exhale, we're gonna let that right hand come down. Now, I have notoriously short arms compared to the rest of my body. So in order for me to have alignment, it's a nice demonstration, I need to have a block. Otherwise, see how I come forward and I close. So I really want you to be honest with yourself. If you need a block, get it now. And your marker is when I press that hand into the ground or block, that I am shoulder over shoulder, wrist over wrist. Back is strong, okay? So get yourself sorted out. Now let's go ahead and take that arm and stretch it overhead without collapsing. Okay, we're building a sequence. And then you're gonna continue circling. Think of a great big moon. We've got a full moon this week. So you have a big full moon. Here your bum's gonna go back a little bit like we did earlier, right? Sweeping the ground until you rise up with a breath in. Again, engage your bum, engage your glutes, and then exhale over to the side. And here our eyes could be down, straight ahead or up. So we're setting these foundations first. Okay, let's do it again. So inhale. Exhale. Take a breath in and reach a little longer, squeeze your bum. And then exhale, come down and around. Send your bum back, breathing both arms up and maybe looking up. Breath out, come into your closed gate. No rush. I want you to really feel that energy of no rush. Inhale, tall, glutes engage, shoulders soften. Exhale, find that good placement and stretch that arm overhead. Maybe look up to the fingertips. Take another breath in and reach and extend, almost like a little back bend. And then exhale, sweep the ground with your fingertips before you rise and shine. And then take it to the side. Okay, let's do a couple more. Inhale, intentional. This is our mindful flow, right? Exhale, come on down, squeeze your bum, reach. Inhale, reach a little longer, stronger. And then exhale, kind of collapse to the ground. Inhale, rise up, pushing your pelvis forward a bit. Exhale, take that beautiful side bend, closed gate. And let's do it one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, grow long and intentional. Exhale, gracefully sweep the earth. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, come on down. Good. Now we're going to do one more little working pose here on this side. So come back to this variation. Place your hand on your hip. Push that bum forward. Keep your toes in dorsiflexion, your ankle in dorsiflexion. So pull the toes up and let's lower and lift a few times. Now when we do this, we're not going straight up. We're kind of going back a little bit and then up. And when you do that, you're working your glute med. And let's do 8, 7, you could have your arm up. 6, this is preparing us for a pose later. 5, 4, so I'm squeezing in like a little Pilates here. 3, 2, and on your last one, if you can, bring it up and hold it. Hold it, keep that leg pulling back, strong, feel that glute med. Maybe gaze up. So this is our first balance pose today. Wonderful, release. Bring your hands down to the ground. Sit your bum right back like we did earlier and walk your hands over towards that foot. Just feel your body round here. If you prefer, you could stay up or you could sit back. But remember at the beginning when we did that moon child, that child with the curve, that's kind of what's happening. But here we also get the bonus of the inner thigh. And you could also bring your toes up if you would rather do that. Just take a few breaths in, creating whatever shape with your body feels good for you. Okay, now let's give that knee a break. So pivot, bring yourself back to that starting position. Either send yourself into a child's pose, or if you'd rather, head on up to a dog. So we're going to do a little movement or a little stillness before we do that sequence on the other side. So if you'd like a little bit of a vinyasa here, you can bring your body forward into your plank or all fours. I'm going to take it easy. We're going to lower ourselves down. And then breathe into whatever back bend feels good. I'm sticking with a baby cobra this morning just based on my back, but you can do whatever you like. Could be an up dog cobra. Push yourself back to either a child's pose or a puppy if you'd like to break, or back to down dog again. Let's do that one more time. So bringing your body forward if you're feeling like you want the work, be in plank. If you need a little support, modified plank. Lower yourself down with control. Untuck your toes, and then come into any version of a spine extension. And you know there's many that work for you. This time, gently look from side to side. See how your neck's doing. Your shoulder might move a little bit too. Maybe we've all got some little pinching from the shoveling and all the other shenanigans that have been going on. Lower yourself right down to the mat. Take a moment, let your head rest, either right or left side. Bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Let's do a little locust before we do this on the other side. So reach the knuckles down towards the heels. Elongate your spine, so gently tuck through the tails. And lift your upper body to start. Now, I don't have a lot to show you here. I don't get up very high in this pose for my anatomy, but maybe you do. Some of you might be able to lift your arms off your back. Again, very difficult for me with my body, but you do what you can do. And if you want, point your toes, lift your feet off of the ground as well by activating through the glutes. Again, when I demonstrate this, it looks like nothing's happening, but yours might have a much deeper bow shape in your body. And hold it for 4, 3, if you can, 2, and 1, and release. You take a moment, and then when you're ready, push yourself back to your child's pose. Get a little stretch there. And hopefully, if I orchestrated this properly, we'll get to do it on the other side, and it will be nice and balanced. Okay, so come on up again. Tuck your left toes under and bring your right leg out to the side. Okay, do you remember this? Hands come a little bit further forward than your shoulders. And we're going to do this shifting. So back and forward. Okay, this first little flow just reminds you that yes, my knee is comfortable because I'm going to be on that left knee for a bit. My toes are turned out in a way that feels okay. And then we start to add the right arm coming up. Breathing in as we come forward. And breathing out as we go back, so it feels like a child's pose. In and out. It almost feels like we're bowing, doesn't it? Like we're praying a little bit. Praying for no snow, how about that? And back. 3 more times. So I don't love counting in yoga. I think a lot of it should be, or it's best when it's intuitive, but sometimes the counting keeps reminding us to breathe, and as long as we can be non-striving, maybe hold this last one, as long as we can remain still quite present. Okay, and release. So we're gonna pivot that left foot back and we're going to sweep that right leg out to the side. You know, if that worked properly, once again, you'll set your block up as you need it over to your left side this time and bring yourself up so that your hands are on your hips. You're, again, maybe turning those toes out, it's up to you, and dropping the tail. Okay, so even though we know it, we are just as intentional this side. So our arms are coming up, our shoulders drop. Let's go into our closed gate first. Okay, so it's just that easy, gentle, nothing forced. Everything stays sukha, sweet and easeful at the top. Okay, then we come up slowly, breathe in, slower than maybe you've done this flow with me in the past. Breathe out, the left hand comes down. We really make sure that we have that alignment. So none of this, right? Stretch that arm overhead, beautiful long line, which may be foreshadowing for a pose later. Okay, then reach down towards the earth. There's that big full moon. Inhale as we rise up. Reset your pelvis and your spine. Exhale as you come to your side bend. And what are you going to do with your eyes? Down, straight ahead or up for your drishti. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hand down. Inhale and reach. Exhale, sit your bum back, hinge forward, and rise up. Breath in and breath out. Amazing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, really reach and engage your bum. And exhale, surrender. Inhale, rise and shine, maybe tip the eyes up. Exhale, side bend. So this nice methodology here, inhale, breathing and moving, can be really good for us too sometimes. Exhale to quiet the thoughts. Sweep the arm down. Rise up. Side bend. And one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, grow longer and stronger. Exhale, flush to the earth. Inhale, rise up. And exhale into our closed gate. Lovely. Beautiful. Love that flow. Haven't done that one in a long time. Bring your left hand down to find stability. Start by bringing your hand to your hip just to remind yourself, neck in line with the rest of the spine, dorsiflex the ankle, lift the leg, pull it back a bit, and then let's go ahead and lower and lift. So there's the glute med right here. Again, you can lift the arm up. We're not going to do this with our head, and we're going to go for 10, 9. You can do a little Pilates breath here if you like. 8, 7, 6. Whatever you need to do. Last 2. Last 1. Hold it there. Soften your jaw. Pick a drishti. This is your balance. Ardha Chandrasana on the earth. See if you can hold it for 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Lower it down. Walk your hands forward. Again, remember that moon child we did, so maybe turn your toes out, reach your arms long, sit your hips back, or not, right? You get to decide where you position your body, how you position your body to get your best stretch here. Okay, wonderful. Now come on back through to center. Bring both of your knees together here. Okay, you're on your mat. Try to tuck your toes. Now this is not for everybody, so even if you're here and putting body weight on the ground, great, you're stretching your feet. But if you can and want to give this a try, push yourself back to toe squat. Now your blocks can be your best friend in toe squat because they will take some of the pressure off your knees as well as supporting you so you don't fall over. So this is a great alternative here. But if you can also manage toe squat, you could use your blocks to help you to balance. Try it even just for a moment or two. Okay, if you trust yourself with your balance, bring your arms away and open to the side. Okay, your blocks can be here or not. We're going to do a side bend. So go over with me to the left, bringing your left fingers either down to the ground, hovering to the ground, or touching the blocks, or maybe you're holding a great big moon. And if you're wobbling, good. Come on back up. And if you just can't do this, come to standing and try to do it on your tippy toes, because I'm going to be meeting you in standing in a moment. And then over to the other side. Yes. Let's do that one more time on each side. Okay, we're not here for much longer, so come on up. Whoa. And over to one side. Good, massaging all of these fascial chains in our body. And then over to the other side. Wonderful. Okay, if it was pretty, great. If it wasn't, great. Who cares? We're working on ourselves. Work is messy, right? When you paint your house, it's a big mess, right? There's mess everywhere. Same as when we work on our bodies sometimes. Bringing yourself up and into your standing fold in the center of your mat. Keep your knees bent. Hold your elbows or forearms a wee bit and rock from side to side. From this forward fold, roll your body upwards. Take a beautiful breath in at the top. And then as you exhale, step your feet a little bit wider and let's go ahead and sweep. Amazing. Good. How's that for a nice, slow winter warm-up? Nice integration of our movement. So we're going to do our standing postures today, like I said, head on, face on. So we're going to begin by taking our feet, heel-toeing our feet fairly wide. We're going to do a moon salute variation first, and then we're going to get into some of our poses. So in moon salutes, we're going to start with a 5-point star. So both sets of toes are pointing forward. Notice how my feet are quite wide. Same premise, tailbone, lift, lift, but still stay strong, arms out to the side. So you're really creating this strong, intentional position. This is a very feminine mountain pose, right? So Tadasana, we're like this. This is how we start moon salutes. And you can add a little jumping to your day if you like as well. So this is our mountain pose, very lunar. Now we are going to step or jump our feet together. It's up to you. Make sure you're doing it with soft knees, back to your mountain, okay? Inhale, bring your arms up nice and tall. Exhale, moon pose to the left, Chandrasana to the left. Now you can keep your arms together, your hands together, really extending, or you could bring your hand down to your side, whichever you like. Inhale as you come up tall, and then do the same thing on the other side. So again, your arms could be apart or together. It's entirely up to you. Inhale, back up. Exhale back into a goddess stance. So it's like 5-point star, but your toes are turned out. And then we're going to do a variation of goddess. So come on down, arms come down. We're going to inhale, rise up. And exhale, cactus arms. Inhale 4 times. And exhale, opening up those hips. 2 more. Inhale. Nice. 1 more time. And can you hold your Devyasana, your goddess? You can go high or low and holding it for 4. 2. You can have movement like I am or hold it steady. And 1. Nice. As you release your arms, bring your hands to your hips. Come on up. Turn your right toes to face forward or even slightly inwards. Turn your left toes as you would for your warrior stance. Drop your tailbone, extend your arms, and reach, getting ready for Trikonasana. Your left palm is facing open, and you're reaching overhead. This looks familiar, doesn't it, right? Same idea, zip and reach. If you can maintain the integrity of the pose and go deeper, wonderful, but not if you're collapsing. If you want the challenge for core, reach your arms up, but keep your jaw soft. You're still working your core if you're here, but stretch that arm overhead, holding it for 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Bend your knee a wee bit to come on out. If you were with me last night, we did some pyramid, and that's what we're doing this morning. So turning your hands to your hips, you're probably going to need to step your right foot in a touch. Square the hips forward. Blocks are helpful here. Should have had you bring them over, but I didn't. So turning the pelvis. If you were with me last night, we practiced our pyramid. So coming down, we pull our left hip back and our right hip forward in this case, and we allow our body to fold. Some of us will leave our hands on the ground. Some of us will leave our hands on blocks. Some of us will turn our fingers and pull ourselves back. Keep the big toe ball of your left foot pressing into the floor to really activate through the hamstrings, and keep the back heel of your right foot down onto the ground. And if you need to take a shorter stance, take a shorter stance. You can stay right here, or if you're feeling called to it, while actively pulling your left hip back, take your left arm up and rotate without letting anything else change, especially focusing on keeping that right heel pressing into the ground. Take the gaze up if possible. The core is strong, but still soft. Okay, sweep that arm back down to the ground. Now we lift our right heel, we wiggle the foot back. I'm going to give you 2 options. One of them is to stay upright into a standing crescent lunge. It's up to you. The other is to lower down, which just gets you a little bit more of a stretch. Untuck your toe and bring yourself up into Anjaneyasana, either or. Either pose, I'd encourage you, if you can, to interlace your fingers. Watch that you're not arching the back, so there's still that restraint and that, that drawing backwards, that retraction before you go forward. So it's not just a collapse, okay? Again, take a few breaths. Have your arms as much as possible, your humerus bones drawing back to open up that chest. Good, and then as you bring your hands down to either the ground or your hips if you're standing, tuck your back toes under if you were with me, lift yourself up, turn both sets of your toes out, and let's move from side to side. And I'd like for you to move, if you can, in a kind of fluid and liquidy way. So if you can get to the ground, fantastic. If you would like to do Skandasana, not all of our bodies will cooperate with that, but some of our more supple bodies in our group might be able to get right close down. I'm having more and more trouble getting down there these days, which is just par for the course. That's all right. And then this sequence actually has a low squat in it, and I'm going to give you choices, so choose wisely. If you are able and willing and you want to come down to your Malasana here, fantastic. Your other option is to keep your toes turned forward and just let yourself fold. Okay, so either way, it feels like, or my hope is that there is an element of release here. So if this doesn't feel like release for you, if it feels like HE double hockey sticks, then don't do it. Okay, we'll take about 5 breaths. Outstanding. So we're going to bring ourselves up and out wherever we are. We're going to take our time, maybe use your hands to push and roll yourself back up to standing. And then because this is a very feminine flow, a hip-based flow, let's go ahead and circle our hips around a few times. Okay, so 5-point star, mountain in the lunar flow. So toes forward, zip, zip, core, maybe bring your arms up, and then open to that strong, powerful, taking up space, 5-point star. This is like a power pose, right? I am here. I am woman. Hear me roar. Okay, really feel your earth, your earthing feet, your grounding legs, your open chest, but you're still soft, right? You're still receiving. Okay, as you bring your arms by your side, you can step or hop into your mountain. Inhale, bring your arms up and above your head. Moon pose to the right this time. So the hips push out to the side, but the pelvis is still in position. That left arm is long. Inhale up to center and exhale over to the other side. Again, both arms long and strong. Inhale and exhale. Again, you can step or hop. This time it's a goddess pose. Bring your arms up. Exhale, squat. 4 times. You could use a Ujjayi breath if you wish. Let's do one more before we hold it. So get uncomfortable. Again, there can be a fluidity to your hold, or you can lock down, open the hips, activate the glutes, lift the heart, soften the jaw. So there's so many things you can be focusing on other than your grocery list or what you're doing next. Stay here, stay with me for 3, 2, maybe a little lower, and 1. Ooh, yeah, release. Turn those left toes to face forward or slightly internally rotated. Right toes are way out there. Set yourself up for success. Arms long, shoulder blades retracted. Send your hip out without sending it back, okay? So just the pelvis. Let the spine move as a result of how the pelvis moves. And then just let your arms find their way. We think like arm to ground, no, just let them do it. Let them follow, right? The arms are just the tail. This is the dog, right? Let the dog move, not the tail wag the dog, if that makes sense to you. Again, you may like to reach that arm overhead. Some of you may find the challenge in the core. My back's not too happy about that one, so I'm gonna stay right here and instead focus on really being in my best alignment here. Eyes down, straight ahead or up. Back body strong. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Amazing. Soften your front knee a wee bit. Come out with control. Yeah. Turn. Probably going to step that back foot in and maybe even a wee bit wider so that both of my hip bones, my ilium are pointing forward. My foot is down. Okay, zip. And then hinge, 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 hinge. Let your hands find what they want to find. Don't strive. Just let it be. Take a few moments and feel your torso hinging forward, so lead with your heart. Maintain the integrity in the hip alignment, so squared, heels to the ground, legs extended without being locked. Parsva Tanasana, pyramid pose. Maybe reaching the ground and walking a little bit further. And if you feel called to it, adding the revolve, so keeping the hips as they are. Bring that right arm up and around. You could maybe even start by just having it on your sacrum to make sure that that stays immobile as much as possible, and reach the arm up. Soften where you can soften. Be embodied in your hand. Strong back. For 4, And then as you release, very good, walk your hands forward, maybe with your blocks. Turn your toes out, maybe go wider, and let's go side to side. Side to side. Great. Heel toe your feet in, and again, you can either hang out in a forward fold or come on down to your second and final Malasana squat pose. Preferably our heels are on the ground in squat. Sometimes our mechanics just don't let that happen, so you might need to roll up a blanket or another yoga mat. And let's do our best if we're in our squat to lift our chest so that we're not collapsing like a turtle. Terrific. Hands come down, lift yourself up. Again, maybe a little swaying from side to side. And then do take your time to roll on up and just move any way you want to move. Maybe there's that swing from side to side, sweeping your arms from side to side, shaking things out. Just trying to eyeball where I put my water, but I think I left it in the kitchen. That's okay. And coming back to the center of your mat in a mountain pose. So we're gonna do something similar, just building on that. I do need a sip of my water. Give me 5 seconds. Okay, thank you. I defied the doctor's orders and had my coffee before my electrolytes this morning. I'm good at breaking doctor's orders. I'm trying not to. But I'm like, let's be a rebel today and have my coffee first. Wild, who knew? Okay, so we're gonna find our mountain. Now we might like to have a block on either side of our mat. We are going to be doing a posture that for most of us, we will want a block. Okay, that's your foreshadowing. So we're going to start in the same kind of a manner, right? Starting in our mountains, we're kind of pulling together again that moon salute, but mixing it up just a little bit. Okay, so let's begin in 5-point star. So step your feet out, extend your arms, feel the power of that pose. It is intended to be a powerful pose. Good, hop or step your feet together. Inhale your arms up. We'll just move a little bit more efficiently, but just as mindfully. Exhale to the left, moon pose. Extend your arms long. You're more than welcome to bring your arm behind you this time if you want. Be a little bit more creative on this one if you'd like. If there's little variations or nuances that you want to add for your body. Come on back up through to center, and then go ahead and practice that on the other side. Be intentional. Come on up. As you exhale, step into your goddess. We're going to do this one differently. So we're going to bring our hands down, opening up the hips as we exhale. Inhale as we rise. So think sun and moon. Exhale, come on down, open up. Inhale, rise. A little faster, but still as mindful. Exhale. Inhale. One more. So starting your day being big and taking up space. Good, go ahead and turn yourself around into your Trikonasana. We're gonna do a flow. Reach forward into triangle, exhale. Inhale into reverse triangle. Exhale. and inhale. Notice how much more intentionality there is this time because we took our time to really set the foundation rather than just jumping into a vinyasa, which is unfortunately what sometimes happens, right? We've only got so much time. We've got to get the flow. Well, if we do the flow without getting our roots in, then we're going to get blown away, right? Nice. Now as you come down, we're going to go into pyramid. So probably you're going to need to reposition your back foot, square off the hips, and hinge forward. Reach forward this time. So notice I didn't have you come right down. I want you to feel that like your heels are being rooted, like the wind is blowing and you're not letting go. So stretch out through your lats and your quadratus lumborum. Get that big, beautiful stretch. Oh, we didn't do the lunge on the other side. I forgot about that. My apologies. Hands come down, so we're not going to do it on this side. But what I would like you to do is lift your heel, reach it back, bring yourself up. Okay? Bring yourself into a high lunge with your hands to prayer. Zip it up and rotate to your left. Really focus on engaging your right glute. If you like, tuck your elbow on the outside of your thigh and press your hands together. Take a few moments to breathe here. Okay, now here comes our peak pose. We're going to do Ardha Chandrasana. So as you release the elbow, if you had the elbow, bring your left hand down to your block. Okay, hold on to it. The best of your ability. Lift your right foot off of the ground if you can. You can also use a wall here. Keep your hand on your hip. So you're going to roll that hip up. This is best case scenario. No pressure if it doesn't quite look like this. Right? And this is what we've practiced for. This is our Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Strong back, open heart. See if you can hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1. Way to go. Lower the foot, pivot yourself around. Go ahead and take a little side to side. Little side to side. Good. Both sets of toes forward and hinge. You can grab a hold of your ankles, your feet as you wish. Now, for the sake of making sure we have balance, let's pivot ourselves around to face the other end of our mat. Now, if you can remember back to when I asked you to make a choice to either coming down to Anjaneyasana or staying high into crescent lunge with your arms up. Can you remember that far back? Most of us are in perimenopause or beyond, so I don't expect you to. I barely remember, but if you do remember, find the pose that you found on the other side way back, probably about 12 minutes ago, and let's hold it. I don't want to contribute any more to any imbalances that are going on in your mind, body, or life in general. Okay, keep that glute strong. And then as we're ready, let's come out of that. So if we were down, let's lift up. Let's pivot ourselves around. Heel toe our feet in, and we're going to kind of carry on here from where we were at. So that is still there. Bring yourself up. And here we go. So cross, come down. We're going to go 4 and inhale. Exhale, 3. So this is your chance to really open up those hips if you like. 2 more. What a great way to start our day. 1 more. Even when we don't feel the vibe, right? We always feel so good afterwards. And rise up. Nice. So get yourself ready for Trikonasana. So a little in, a little out. Reach on out. And head on down. Big stretch from a place of stability and inhale back. And inhale back like a seesaw with a strong center. 2 more. And back. And 1 more. more time. And back. Lovely. Pivoting yourself around, stepping back in to get ready for that pyramid. So square it off, press it down, hinge back. If possible, reach forward. So it feels like someone's grabbed a hold of your hips and are drawing you back. So you're stretching up through the serratus anterior, down the side of the body, the lats, which is the big muscle sheath that really covers most of your back, and your quadratus lumborum, which connects the back of your ribs to the back of your pelvis. Okay, as you come up about halfway, squiggle that foot back. You could drop the knee down if you wanted, but I'd love for you to come up nice and tall in your tall lunge, active, strong, hands to prayer. Okay, you could stay here, or you could rotate towards the back leg, which is the right leg, the left leg, tuck the right leg, tuck your left elbow on the outside of your right knee, press the hands together to kind of sit back into that twist. Keep your back heel pushing strong, stay with me, breathe. Our last little bit of work, everyone. As we untuck that elbow, very good. Take your right hand, bring it down to your block. Try to have your right toes forward, but they might turn in a wee bit as you need to. Find the stability that you need. It could be a wall. Your back could be up against the wall. This is playtime, right? Perfection not expected. Whoa, progress is great, but even sometimes progress is 2 steps back. And the dignity at which we try to move through that. So strong back, we practiced this earlier. Ardha Chandrasana, do your very best. Hold it for 4, 3, 2. You can do that. Maybe lift your leg a little higher. Smile. And done. Good. Lower that foot down. Wow. Maybe grab your other blocks. Remember our toe squat from earlier? Lift your heels and lower yourself down. Whew. If you would like a final challenge here, I'm just going to turn to face you. You could just sit down on your bottom now and do it from seated. But if you want to do it from toe squat, we're going to do one more twist. So bringing your hands together, you could have your block underneath here, 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 or not at all, or you could be sitting down, okay? Bring your hands to prayer. Stay stable from your belly button down, and let's go ahead and take our right elbow, and if possible, hook it on the outside of our knee. Okay, try to keep your knees both pointing forward facing. If you're sitting here, feet on the ground, here, or even here, whatever. You do you. I can't do you. Well, okay, I'll stop there before that goes off the rails. I don't know what you need. Let me rephrase that. Okay, coming back through to center. Let's do the other side. Again, this is not cheating. It's just giving yourself a little support if you need it. This is playtime. Perfection, definitely not expected. Right, Kaio? Yeah. We decided we're going to name our next dog like Bob because no one ever knows what we're saying. Kaio, it's C-A-Y-O, and everyone thinks we're saying Kyle. So next one's going to be like Bob or Harry or Luke or something that you can't mess up. Release, open your knees, and then if you can, slowly lower yourself down. Wow! Hands behind you. Let's just windshield wipe the knees. Well, wonderful job, everyone. That was fun. We did a little trip around the world there. Okay, so let's go ahead and take our time, holding onto our knees or shins, rounding through our back and rolling down and onto our backs. Well deserved after that. Give yourself a little rock. We're going to do just a wee bit of core, so go ahead and take your block, just one block is fine. Bring your legs up into the air, point your toes. Take your block between your hands, so the long end like that. And you can lift your head off the ground. Some people might like a second block underneath the head or neck if you're straining, because when we bring our head up, it helps to imprint the spine to the ground, but it might be a strain on the neck. So that's why the block there is good, because it puts your spine in the right position without straining the neck. Let's go ahead and do slow arms overhead while we extend. And this is why I like the block under my head, because it allows me to work the core without straining the neck. But if you can do it without, fantastic. It also allows the range of motion through the shoulders to be bigger, right? Because see how my humerus bones, my upper arm bones are going beyond my ears, and I might not be able to do that with good form if my head was not protected. Variation, knees bend, we don't go as far. Okay, you know your body. Either way, let's do 8. 7, please go slow with me if you can. 6, keeping the arms long and the legs as long as possible. 5, but giving yourself the mercy if you need it. 4, so you've got so many good things going on in this movement here. 3, 2, and 1. Wonderful. Give yourself a break. Place your block on your shin. If you have a block behind your head, you can bring the other one out. You could even put 2 blocks on your shin. Now, you might also need or want, and you might have to reposition this for a moment, to put your hands, palms down underneath your sacrum. That will give you something to move into here. It's up to you. Okay, so toes can be pointed or dorsiflexed, whichever you prefer. Pressing your pelvis into your hand or the ground, and we're simply going to move the legs away. We're going to do this 8 times. And back in. 7. 6. 5. 4. Last little challenge. 3. Ooh, losing my block. 2. Hopefully you're not using a wood block if that happened. And 1. Lower your feet and open up your knees. And again, if you still have your blocks handy, you could open up your hips. And this can be, I was gonna say, our final resting place. Wow, so we squeezed a lot in here. Let's just settle ourselves, softening everything that we can soften. If there are other, poses or positions that you would like your body to be in, you can do that. We kind of really stayed strong right to the end of this practice here. So if you feel like you need a little bit more unwinding time, then by all means, please be my guest, be my student. And I want to honor time as much as we can here, but also take the opportunity to unravel and unwind. So give yourself just a few moments to find that stillness, find that breath. Maybe prepare yourself for any part of your day that you feel might require a little pep talk, a spiritual mind-body pep talk, what you need to work through today or speak up for yourself. Oh, perfect reading. It's called My Heart. So let's listen and take in a few phrases, a passage here to take with us on our day. I drop my awareness from my busy mind into my heart. I breathe into my chest and I feel its expansiveness. In my heart, I keep many important things: my hopes, my dreams, my highest intentions. It is the epicenter of my vast capacity to love. With every powerful beat, I commit to a life well loved and well lived. I commit to being passionate and soulful. My heart reminds me of the constant rhythm and the power of life. My heart also reminds me that it only functions when it's both giving and receiving. I vow not to constrict my heart, but to bow to its fullness. I open my heart in service and gratitude. I have deep faith and love. I bask in it and I radiate it. It is my deepest pulse and the heartbeat of each new moment. Whew. So as you inquire within your heart, your body, your mind, whatever you feel most guided to connect to, spirit, God of your choice, you might ask of yourself what wisdom lies within or from, without, what you need today to support yourself as you move through life, relationships, work, emotions. What do I need today to help myself through any of the inevitable challenges